Well, Canadians who are looking to make charitable donations this year have until the end of the month to maximize tax credits. Tomorrow is Giving Tuesday, and to tell us more about how to optimize your donations is CEO and President of Canada Helps, Duke Chang. Duke, thanks very much for joining us today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show.
Let's just quickly talk. I want to talk a little bit about the report you just had out about some of the donations, how Canadians are donating, the trends that we've seen over the last few years. Just quickly, how did it shape up?
Well, look, what we know is that Canadians are incredibly generous when they can be. But the reality is about 22% of Canadians represent half of all charitable donations. So that's a pretty big concentration. And what we're finding is that a number of Canadians have lapsed. They haven't given in the last few years, or maybe haven't given at all. So this year for Giving Tuesday, we're really encouraging Canadians who haven't given in a while to come back and give again to a charity and support a cause that they care about.
So that's tough. It sounds like people making choices about putting food on their plate or donating to charities. For the ones who can still donate, how do charities reach out to them? I imagine a lot of them are high income earners and companies. How did charities reach out to them?
Well, look, everybody has the capacity to be generous. Everybody has something to give. And what we even if it's a small amount, right? And what we're really encouraging people to do is think about all those causes that they care about. We've just gone through Black Friday and Small Business Saturday, and now we're in Cyber Monday today. So tomorrow, Giving Tuesday, is really an opportunity to think about others, even if it's a small thing, right? Even if it's $5 a month or $10 a month, that's incredibly impactful to a small charity in particular, who may be only operating on a couple $100,000 a year.
And with corporations making donations, you said the numbers are off for people in lower incomes. What are corporations? How are they doing? Are you seeing any change there?
Well, for corporations, a lot of corporations give out of their income, right? So depending on how their income is doing, their giving will fluctuate. This year, we're continuing to see strong support from corporations that are able to do so. They have very specific opportunities and causes that they care about, but they're also encouraging their employees to give generously, right? It's good for everyone. When charities rise, when the social good sector rises, it's good for everyone. We're 8.3% of the economy. We employ about 2.5 million workers. So when you support charities, you're supporting the general economy.
Okay, and I want to just sneak in. We're going to bring Bruce in. Bruce, thanks for joining the conversation. We were having some technical difficulties. Bruce, any questions for Duke?
No, just how do you really encourage people to give more? I guess that's really what it's. I get a lot of emails or get a lot of mail asking me to give, and I give to certain ones who I've been giving to for years, and others I don't always feel that they're the right people to give to. So it's, I guess, choosing your charitable donations, and you're also competing with the arts and operas, and a lot of those things are charities and have huge requirements as well that may take from classical charity ideas like food banks, etc.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much your life touches on charities every day, right? The programs that watch your kids after school, probably a charity. Your arts organizations, to your point, charities. The hospitals, the educational facilities, also charities. And then you have the things that you typically think about, the food banks, the animal shelters. I guess we would have 3 tips. One, this season, we really want to encourage people to think small and local. Right? Everybody knows the big name charities. A lot of these smaller organizations, your dollar actually is a lot more impactful because they're operating on such small budgets. So even a small gift can make a huge difference to a small local charity that you can see in your community. Second, think about what your passions are and what you really care about. What are you trying to support? What's the change that you want to make? What is your future vision for Canada, and how can you help support that future vision? And then finally, we want you to remember that giving is actually good for you. It releases endorphins into your body, and it even helps lower your blood pressure. So look, it's good for you and it's good for others. So we really encourage this year everybody to think about making a gift.
Absolutely. I want to ask about this because I had somebody come to the door and they were asking for me to make the donation, and I made the donation through the website. that they took, and I looked and the website was legitimate, but it's difficult in this day and age for people making choices on how to donate. Sometimes you have legitimate concerns about fraud now, don't you?
You do. So do your due diligence. The safest way actually is to give online because you're going to a verified website. You can always check our website because all 85,000 charities in Canada are on our website. So if they exist on our website, they're a legitimate registered charity. Or you can check the CRA website to make sure they're a registered charity too.
And then with people who are donating, everybody talks about this time of year as kind of being the donation time of year. Is for tax breaks and everything like that, is it best to do it now or is it better to spread it out through the year?
Well, as long as you're within the same tax year, it doesn't really matter how the cash flows. For a charity, it's better for them to get regular donations, which is why we encourage people to set up monthly giving. Just like you subscribe to Netflix or Spotify or some other subscription, we're so used to the subscription economy. Subscribe to a charity. What that does for them is it reduces the anxiety, right? Because they know that income is coming in month on a steady basis, and they're not guessing this time of year whether you've remembered to make a donation to them. So we really encourage people to give monthly. But we also see different ways people are giving now. Securities and donations of stocks and bonds is a huge rise right now because of the capital appreciation and the tax strategies that you can deploy when giving securities instead of cash.
Okay, so there are some interesting options. Duke, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Duke Chang is the CEO and president of Canada Helps.